Yes, it is time for another Q&A, so thank you so much to everyone who has asked me questions on my Instagram and YouTube account. The only way that you can ask questions is if you're either following me on Instagram, which is at the Closet by Connor _, or if you're subscribed to my YouTube channel through my community page where the post goes up. But thank you again to everyone who has asked some questions. I'll try do this as, you know, what are those things called? Podcast-like as possible, so you can like have it playing just audio appropriate. You can have it playing in the background if you're cleaning or driving or whatever you want to do. Yeah, so let's jump on in. But firstly, if you are new here, my name is Connor, and on my channel I like to talk about all things luxury, so if that's something you're into, I'd love it if you could hit the subscribe button and the bell button so you're notified when I bring out new videos, and if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Now I'll start with some of the questions on my community page. The first one is from Amy Brando 2585, and she's asked, if someone offered you $1 million for all of your bags, would you take it? Yeah. I would take $200,000 for all my bags, and then I would spend like a quarter of it replacing them and then just buy more bags with the rest of the money. Yeah, that is an absolute no-brainer. I was actually thinking about it. I'm sentimental with certain things, but with those, like with my bags, I'm not that sentimental. Like, if, you know, touch wood, but say they all just disappeared one day and I went to go and replace everything, I don't know if I would like replace stuff like for like I would buy the equivalent of what it did, but I don't know if I would be like for like, because I'm like, oh yeah, cool, I already got a taste of what I had and now I'll try something different. But yeah, $1 million, girl, I'll chuck you a cheeky 100,000 as well, just for your, you know, giving me the million in the first place. Next question is from Kristen Clarkin 7662. She's asked, how's work going? I know you were considering a change a little while ago. As someone who finally took the leap in my early 40s and retrained, it can be done. Good job. I think there's really no wrong or right time to change careers. Like, if you can, you know, if you know what you want to do and you know how to get there, I think that's the hardest part, figuring that out. And then once you're there, the rest kind of just falls into place. I'm still at my current job. I've been here, I think it'll be 3 years in April. But I'm back at university studying, and boy, did I underestimate the resentment that I would have for that. Like, yeah, it's a lot of work and a lot of sacrificing of my spare time, but it is very rewarding when you do an assignment and then you get your marks back and you maybe get a high distinction and yeah, and you're like, oh my god, all that work I put in, and it's good and bad, but it's only a short period of time, so I'll get through it. And the goal is probably in the new year I'll start looking at other jobs related to HR, which is what I'm studying, and then I can be like, oh, I'm currently, you know, studying, so. But yeah, it's going well in the sense that I'm directing my energy into studying to prepare myself, or to put myself in the best possible position to apply for jobs in that field. So, you know, progress is being made. I'm just taking a side step to do that, and then we'll resume applying for jobs next year. But I'm enjoying it. I love the content. I love researching the content as well. I've done a lot of reading. I'm a big kind of like, I like to read all of the material to kind of put myself in that scope. And that just takes a lot of time, but you learn, well, for myself personally, I learn the best way by doing that. So onwards and upwards. Next question is from Ed Braun 137. I believe Ed has a YouTube channel, which I will put down in the description box. He's asked, hi Connor, I keep thinking about a Fendi soft trunk baguette. I think they're gorgeous. I always think about your unboxing and the excitement you had. I loved it. Can you tell me what you love about the bag and what you dislike, if anything? Oh, thanks Ed. Yeah, I've had this bag now for over 2 years. I believe I got it in like August 2022. So yeah, I've had it for a long time. Definitely no regrets. I love that bag. Let me just get it. So this is the bag in question, and definitely no regrets. It's been a bit of a pocket rocket. It's just a very easy, versatile piece. I'm glad that I got it in the black because for me, it's just, I just reach for it a lot. Silver hardware, of course, is just my preference, but what I like about it is very carefree and it's easy. It's big enough to kind of fit what I would need for, even if I was carrying like a little few more things than I normally would carry, but it suits that. And I like that you can carry it top handle, or you can just hold it, or it does come with a adjustable crossbody strap as well. I've seen some more trendy guys, not something I could pull off, but they've got the men's O-link chain, which is kind of like a shoulder chain, and they like put over the shoulder, or they just like have it hanging down. That's another option where you can kind of like accessorize it, make it more yours. But I don't have any regrets about this bag. The only thing I would change is making, or dislike, sorry, would be Fendi bringing out more versions, because they bring out, I feel like all the versions that they do bring out, they're like very similar to each other, if that makes sense. But I would definitely grab another one of these in a completely different color arrangement or leather or whatnot. But in terms of just the bag itself, definitely no regrets. And yeah, it was probably one of my best buys. So hope that helps you, hopes that pushes you in the right direction, and definitely go and buy one if you've been like on the fence about it. Heading on over to my Instagram questions. The first one is from the Tanner Hash. They've asked, do you think Hermes bags are still a good investment? They've had lots of online stock. I mean, it's the same old, same old. They're probably no more of a better investment than, or worse of an investment, depending on how you look at it, as what they've always been. Obviously, like, the quota bags are always going to retain their value, and they're always going to be something that, if you've procured one through the boutique in whichever way possible, and you were to, you know, on-sell that bag, you're not going to be out of pocket, you know, depending on what the bag, like the color of the bag, the size and all that stuff. You're generally going to get your money back or a profit. And depending on like the consignor you use, how big a fee they take, or if you're selling it privately, you know, then even better. But it just depends. I'll have people message me and they'll be like, oh, I had like a Believe bag, or I had like an Evelyn, and I went to like sell it and I lost all this money, and they were like shocked by it. I'm like, yeah, that's always been the case. Like, in those bags, like, you can just buy them on the website if they become available on the day when you happen to be looking, or you can just get offered them in the store just by walking in and asking. Like, they're not, yeah, it just depends. Like, and with Hermes, there's always like certain colorways or certain styles that are like in demand at a certain point in time, where you can make a profit if you sell it, or you can get your money back. But realistically, like, the majority of their products and bags and SLGs and all that stuff, you're not going to make money on selling them. You're always going to, you know, lose money. But in saying that, I would say that they probably, if you're looking at the loss that you would take on selling a bag that you bought from them, you're more likely to kind of maintain that return over time versus, you know, losing a big chunk. Like, for example, if you're buying like a Believe bag, let's say they retail for like $10,000, I don't know the exact number, but let's just say they're $10,000, and you're wanting to sell it a year later, you might get $7,000 or $6,500 back for it. But you, like, if you're looking at vintage ones, or ones that are 10, 15 years old, they're selling for that same kind of price. So there's not a big discrepancy between like the older bags and the new ones. It's very weird. Hermes are very weird. But yeah, it's one of those things, like, I don't think anyone's really buying Hermes bags because they think they're going to make like money on them, like the average person anyways. So yeah, I'm not shocked. It is what it is. And I think they've had so much stock online because, you know, they want people to buy their stuff. I swear, Hermes do it like when they have the flood of bags on their website. It makes like the everyday person go, oh, like, I could have just got it on their website. I'm going to go into the store and like buy like all the shoes and everything, and then ask for a bag like that. Running a Ponzi scheme. Next question is from Star by Gwenny, who also has a fabulous YouTube channel, which I'll have linked down below. She's asked, Paris 2025 ? Or will you just wait for us to come to you in 2026? Sorry, I was the OG Paris 2025 before Meredith planned anything. I had already booked my holiday because my 30th is in February. So I'm already going to be in Paris. So make with what you will with that. But I'm already going. So I'm not coming later in the year, soz Gwenny, because I don't shit money. But you guys can come over to Australia. You can slug it out on that 24-hour flight and see how it feels, because it is not very pretty. But yes, I'm already going. Start of the year for a nice 30th birthday celebration in Paris. But I'll catch you in 2026 in Australia. Next question is from Claire Louise Lux, another YouTuber, another UK YouTuber, might I add. And she's asked, can I buy you a drink when you come to London? Absolutely, you can buy me whatever you like when I come to London. I will graciously accept on your home soil. How about that? LV Love Affair has asked, is packaging important to you, and in your opinion, which luxury brand does it best? Packaging is important to me in the sense that you get packaging, like it encapsulates the whole kind of luxury experience. I think that getting like a designer bag in a dust bag in the shopping bag is a bit like wah wah. But yeah, like getting it in a box and ribbon and this, that, pussycat all kind of makes it special. Brands that does it best, I'm gonna have to say, I know probably controversial, but I'm gonna say Dior. Like, they do really beautiful packaging, especially with their holiday collection stuff. All of that is just like art. So I would dare say that they do the best kind of like special packaging. In terms of like just packaging in general, I mean, none of them are groundbreaking. They're all just cardboard boxes at the end of the day. But yeah, I'd probably say Dior's are a little bit more hoity-toity. Next question is from Form Over Function Events. She's asked, do your work colleagues know you have a YouTube channel? And if so, what's their response/feedback? Yeah, a few do know about it. One girl who I work with actually, before I worked with her or knew her, she had watched like my YouTube channel, and then when she see me at work, she was like, oh my god. But apart from that, like, people know about it, but they could not care less. They're not even remotely interested. They're like, oh yeah, how's that little YouTube thing going? By the way, can you do this for me? Like, it's like that kind of thing, which is totally fine. Like, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, no, they don't really care. They think it's just like, cool, like you've got a hobby. Good job. I'm like, okay. But yeah, it's kind of just like meh. Next is from Jade Lotus Bell. She's asked, if a bag doesn't suit your current lifestyle, i.e. too big, too small, would you still keep it in case you need it again? No, I would move it on. Yeah, I'd be like, if it got to the point where I was like, look, this just doesn't work anymore for me, I would move it on. Very rarely would I be like, oh, I want to keep this in case it comes back again. My kind of rationale behind it is, if it doesn't work at that point in time and there's something that I want to buy that will suit me for, you know, whatever the kind of occasion is, I'm better off just selling that bag now, and then putting the money towards buying the thing that I do want. And then if it's a mistake, you know, who cares? I won't die. Georgelina's .journey has says, no question, just sending you love. Oh, thank you so much. I'm very fragile. I'm very fragile at the moment, so I need it. Christian Chase has asked, I'm not a huge fan of canvas. What's the Goyard one like? Does it feel substantial or cheap and plastic-like? Look, yes and no, it depends, but I'll link a video that I've already done comparing like the canvases down below, so you can watch that, because I kind of go into the ins and outs already there. Moonscape Consulting has asked, your 3 favourite designer coats. It's cold in the USA now. Well, because I'm kind of taking a leaf out of Dale's book and making like a little kind of like capsule collection for my Paris trip, which is going to be like in the pits of winter, I just bought a new coat for there. And I've been like looking at all different kind of winter clothes and stuff and buying like pieces. I'll do a separate video on everything that I bought closer to it. But my 3 favourite designer coats, what I would probably say is, if you're looking for something where you're valuing the material, i.e. like the composition of the jacket over just the brand part, I would say go on Farfetch and go on like My Teresa and just look at coats in general. There's a lot of great kind of high street brands in there that have coats where they're like wool cashmere blends or pure cashmere, no polyester, but they're really like good quality and they're just good value for money. Like, you might be spending $1,000 on a coat that's cashmere versus $3,000 on like a polyester nylon blend, you know, McQueen jacket or something like that. So it just depends what you actually want out of the jacket. That's what I would say. Yeah, so do that. Thomas O'Reilly has asked, your newest purchase. Like I said before, I've been buying a lot of clothes to get, you know, some winter stuff ready for Paris, so I'll do a separate video on all the things there, but I've been cheating on like bags with clothes, which is very unlike me, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Next question is from Jesus Deneur. He's asked, what bag would you recommend this season for men? when you say season, I'm pretty sure you're in Spain, so you're kind of like winter season. I've seen a lot of like more hobo style bags, or like slouchy crescent style bags, like from Bottega, from Fendi, from Loewe. They're bringing out like that kind of silhouette, and they're mixing kind of materials. Like I know tartan is really big at the moment. Loewe have done a tartan bag. Fendi have just brought out tartan. Ami Paris, like their latest collection, has a lot of tartan in it as well. So yeah, and I think Fendi did that like Scottish baguette thing in tartan as well. So obviously the Scots are coming to rule the world. But yeah, I think like more larger, slouchier kind of hobo style bags, but not like boho, if that makes sense, more just like hobo. Still like polished but relaxed, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think that bigger bags are definitely coming back, which I love. I like a big bag. But yeah, still, I feel like still though a lot of the colour schemes that are in the men's stuff are still very neutral. But, you know, it is what it is. Rome wasn't built in a day. Next few questions are from Holly Grace Skerritt. She's asked, firstly, best brand to buy vintage versus the worst, and best brand to buy new and the worst. Best brand to buy vintage, I would probably say, I mean, it depends. Like if you're somebody who, if you're looking for a specific something that you can't get anymore, or you're wanting a vintage bag, I would probably say Chanel, because the price point and the quality and the styles are all pretty good. Like you're going to get what you're wanting and not pay over the moon for it. Worst brands to buy vintage, I would say Hermes, similarly for the fact that what I kind of mentioned before is there's not a lot of discrepancy between buying a more recent Hermes bag versus a vintage Hermes bag. Obviously Birkins and Kellys and stuff, yeah, you can get them cheaper, but like not just those bags, all the other kinds of bags, they don't really budge on the price. I'm not sure why. It's just an Hermes thing. So I'd probably say you're better off buying like a newer Hermes bag and paying $1,000 more versus the other option. Does that make sense? And the best brand to buy new versus the worst, do you mean in the sense of it's going to like retain money sort of thing? Like you're paying the retail and then you're not losing so much? If that's what you mean, I'd probably say Louis Vuitton still is a brand where you don't lose too much. Generally, if I consign a Louis Vuitton bag that is, you know, like new condition, really good, blah, blah, blah. Like, what did I say? What comes to mind recently? Like, I sold like an Empreinte Neverfull recently. That sold for like 20% less than the retail, and then on top of my commission. So you're probably losing about like 30 to 35%, which, look, in this economy, take it. So in terms of that, pretty good. Worst brands, yeah, I mean, lots of them. Like Loewe, Fendi, like Prada, all of those kinds of brands do take a big hit, but it depends. Again, there's certain styles and certain colorways and certain stuff that retains its value really high. So yeah, it is what it is. Don't buy stuff if you think you're going to sell it, or if you do think you might sell it, the money's already gone, so like go in with that attitude. And Holly's also asked, no question, just give me your rant of the day, which this, I love this because this is really, she knows me by asking this, because you know there's a rant. There's always a rant. I didn't have a rant today because I haven't left the house yet, but yesterday, oh my God, I was going to have a mental breakdown. I only had a certain amount of time to go do my food shopping, go and get stuff that I need, run some like basic errands. And I went to the like supermarket, and you know when you go there and you've got so much to do and you just want to go in and out and you just want it to be hassle-free. Well, there, every man and his dog was just in the aisle, dawdling, like standing in the middle of the aisle, and they would see me coming and they wouldn't move over to the side. I was doing the, like, I was passive-aggressive by the end of it, huffing and puffing. And obviously it was heightened by the fact that I was just in a rush. But oh my God, I was just like, Connor, do not lose your cool because you will look like an absolute crazy person. But yeah, like every aisle there was just people dawdling, kids running around, and I had enough. So if you're going food shopping, stick to the left. Okay, don't stay in the middle of the aisle. And if you're husband and wife or girlfriend and boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, boyfriend, dog, cat, whatever you are shopping together, you do not need to hold hands while you're doing it. Okay, you will survive. Just let one person stand in front of the shopping trolley, the other person at the back. You don't need to be parallel. Rant over. Next question is from Kirsten Loves Travel. She's asked, next bag purchase. Look, to be honest, nothing has been... I haven't seen anything where I'm like, oh my god, I really want this. But I think it's because I'm going to Paris in a few months. Christmas is coming up, my 30th is coming up. And I've been like putting all of my energy towards looking for clothes and outfits and stuff for that. So I've been distracted. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I just don't even want to think about what I want and just go to Paris and just do what I feel like doing, or if I see something, buy it, like that kind of mentality. I don't have anything where I'm like, I need this. Yeah, so I'm kind of just going with the flow. And also, like, I just haven't had a lot of time to be obsessed over anything. I've been very well behaved and studious and doing all of my assignments like a good boy. Ernest_Khan has asked, what do you consider too many bags? Ernest, I think Lindsay Lohan said it best.
The limit does not exist. The limit does not exist!
So, exactly. And that is all of the questions. So thank you so much for watching, everyone, and everyone who did provide a question. The best ways that you can look out for when I do a Q&A is make sure you're following me on Instagram, theclosetbyconnor_, or subscribe to my YouTube channel because you'll see the community post when I ask for questions. Thank you again for watching, and yeah, hope to see you all very shortly in my next video. Bye!